Hey YouTube, my name is Heather and I love anti-MLM content here on YouTube. Today I'm really excited for us to watch a quick video from famous MLM coach Frazer Brookes, who's going to tell us how to avoid social media jail. A lot of you may have remembered a few months ago on this channel, I did a video from Jessie Lee Ward where she was telling us how Facebook jail should be our goal every single day. So I'm really excited to watch how Frazer is going to tell us how to avoid social media jail. I'm really excited to watch this video. And as always, please let me know what you think about this down below.
So an amazing question this week from Kim Alberg. So he says, how to crack the code of not to be blocked from Facebook. Now, a lot of people ask me this, right? Because they get
So if you don't remember from that video I did with Jessie Lee, being blocked from a social media platform just means you are breaking the rules of the platform. You're messaging too many people at too quick of an interval. It seems like you are participating in suspicious activity. And so the platform will block you from messaging or posting or you doing anything in your account. But he's going to explain it.
Facebook and Instagram and all the other platforms, they're getting quite strict on what you can and can't do in terms of like reaching out to people. And it's not really what you're saying, it's how you're saying it and how fast you're saying it. So the formula, I don't even know what I'm going to write here, but the formula is not dependent on the number of people, right? It's not dependent on the number of people you add. It's not. So I'm going to put a big red mark here. Right? And a lot of people think it is. Hey, Frazer, what's the magic number? How many people do you have to add? Or how many people do you have to add? Or how many people do you have to message until Facebook are like, stop it? Or Instagram doing the same thing. It's not dependent on the number of people. It's dependent on two things, or three things, really. The speed at which you're doing it, right? So if you've messaged like 10 people in a minute, that's going to flag up. Copy and paste.
Interesting. So the first part that could get us blocked is if we message 10 people quickly within a minute. And so he's going to tell us later that we need to spread out our messages so as to not get blocked. That's interesting because if you've ever seen any Beachbody Power Hours, you'll see, okay, I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock and then you have to message as many people as you can in that 5 minutes. So I wonder if Beachbody coaches are getting blocked from Facebook on a regular basis because they're just doing what they're told. And according to Frazer, that's what is going to get you blocked from your account. What do you think about that?
Pasted messages, copy and pasted messages, that's going to flag it up. The third one is the connection level. So I'm going to put connection level. The connection level.
So let's just do copy and pasted messages. We all know in Beachbody, MLMs in general, a lot of the times people are trying to do copy and pasted messages where, hey girl, I have a new business opportunity and I thought of you. And then I've seen videos from Beachbody coaches say, go down your Facebook list and send that message out to everyone because everyone needs Beachbody. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter if you have a connection with them. Just copy and paste this message and send it out to everyone. I just find it interesting that in the first two, the speed and the copy and paste messages, that's Beachbody coaches are taught to do the exact thing that's going to get them blocked. And I just wonder, how would you feel if you're a Beachbody coach and you happen to come across this MLM training call and then you're like, oh, well, I'm taught to do everything that this man is telling me is going to get me blocked from Facebook. I feel like if part of my job was getting me blocked from a whole ass social media platform, that might be a red flag. I might start to question things and wonder, why can't I be successful without being blocked from a whole ass social media platform? What do you think? Let me know.
That you have with the people who you're adding. So if you go out there,
I paused at a bad time before. The other section is the connection level with the people that you are adding.
And you went to school with 10 people, and then you add those 10 people and you message those 10 people. Facebook are highly unlikely to say, hang on a minute, this is suspicious activity. You don't know these 10 people who you clearly went to school with, right? Doesn't work that way. But if you go and add 10 people who live in a completely different part of the world as you, they have completely different interests, you've got no mutual friends, you're not in the same group as them, and then you send them out, hey, you should be my friend, 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 hey, you should be my friend. then of course they're going to flag it and go, whoa, 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 whoa.
That's also interesting, Fraser. So if we happen to know these 10 people, can we add them all within a minute? And is Facebook going to block us? Or do we still have to add them slower just in case Facebook blocks us because they don't realize that they being the platform don't realize that we have a connection with those people. And then if we don't know the people, then we're going to have to spread it out and be more aware and cognizant of the speed of which we're messaging them so as to avoid being blocked. What do you think? I think that's interesting. From what he's saying, I think if we know the person, know the people, we can just do it fast.
That's suspicious activity. So here's how you want to get around with it. Find people who are in groups as you. Find people in the same location as you. Find people with mutual friends as you. Find people who maybe have similar interests in terms of like kids and like travel and stuff like that. Then send them a message, but change the name, change the emoji. Actually be a real flipping human being, right? And then do 5 minutes or 10 minutes, as I discussed in a previous video. Do 10 minutes of finding, adding, and messaging. Then wait for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again, because that then means the speed is reduced. The copy and pasted messages, they're not copy and pasted messages, they're legit messages, and then you have a connection with that person. If you follow that process,
that's interesting too. So we have to do find add message, which is his stupid method. He thinks it's so revolutionary. We can do that within smaller chunks of time. And then if we do that and we make sure when we're adding the people, we're messaging them, make sure you change the name, make sure you switch out the script a little bit at least, just so you can make sure that the messages are different enough that Facebook is not going to flag it and you're not going to get blocked. So thank you, Fraser, for giving us reasonable, tangible tips to avoid getting blocked. My takeaway from this, just make sure that you are not just sitting down for a whole hour and adding everyone in Facebook because you're going to get blocked. So if you're in Beachbody and your upline has told you to do that, don't do that, please, because then you can't use your social media platforms to actually build your business. What do you think?
You are not going to get caught out as much. Sometimes they'll throw a haymaker in there, right? I commented on 3 Instagram posts the other day, like one after the other, and I got kind of not blocked, but I was unable to comment on a post for like an hour. I was like, what? What? That makes no sense. It happened.
That is weird because you're just commenting on posts. Like people comment on posts, you shouldn't be blocked for that. But I guess like these platforms are just trying to protect people from being scammed, from people in MLMs who are trying to take advantage of their vulnerabilities and trying to get them into a fraudulent pyramid business structure in which they are going to lose money.
It's good though. It's good because you and I would rather people who are doing genuinely bad, suspicious activity. We would rather that Facebook go, hang on a minute, stop. Right? Imagine all the spammers and the schemers and the people who are saying hi or hi dear, wave. Hey, can you give me a visa? Hey, it's good. It's a good thing that's happening. So just be a little bit careful. If it's stopping you, they're doing it for a reason. Okay? So just bear that in mind. Now, if you want the right languages to use.
So he's saying it's good for Facebook to do this because there's real scammers out there who are like, hey, I need a visa. And I think people in MLMs, majority of the time, they don't know that they're scamming people and that they're trying to prey on people's vulnerability to bring them into their downline. They don't know that, but it's the same thing because MLM distributors are taught to misrepresent the opportunity, to misrepresent the lifestyle that they're living in order to draw on people's emotions and bring them into this pyramid scheme structure. So I think the motivation and maybe the awareness is different for certain people in MLMs, but on the grand scheme of things, these individuals are taught to scam others and make money off of vulnerable people. And so in my opinion, MLM distributors are often, they start off as the victim and they still the victim, but then they're taught to victimize others. And then the cycle of victimization, in my opinion, just continues and continues. So now he's just going to talk about his book that talks about how to like grow your business on social media. And I don't really feel like talking about that. So what do you think about this? His instructions on how to avoid being blocked on social media. It's interesting that he said it's not necessarily what you say or the number of people, but how you say it. So his tips is you need to make sure you are not just messaging 20, 30 people in 1 minute. You have to slow it down and break up your messaging numbers throughout a different time frame and just do a bunch of find ad messages in 5 minutes or in a minute or two, stop for 5-10 minutes and then do it again. And then Facebook is not going to flag your activity as suspicious. He tells us not to do copy and pasted messages, although his definition of that is just changing the name, changing the emoji, maybe changing a few words to be a real flippant human being is what I think he said. Although those messages still aren't going to be sincere. They're just changing a script around a little bit. And it's still with the intention of bringing someone into the business team in the business structure that's going to make them lose money. And so they're still not real or sincere messages, in my opinion. And then the last one, the connection level. So make sure to talk to people that you have like mutual friends with, mutual interests with, they're in the same location as you, that might have the same number of kids as you. Maybe they talk about being a pet mom, and trying to find people that have some kind of connection with you. And then you go through that whole process of like finding the people that you have some kind of connection to and then messaging them, but you have to make sure that you break it up into smaller amounts of time so Facebook doesn't flag your account. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.